This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Hey y'all, I'm April.
And I'm Caroline.
And this
is your Bloody Happy Hour.
Caroline, are you ready for this?
This is your newest guilty pleasure.
It's the bloodiest part of your week.
Did we say something about it also being happy hour?
Show did.
Because we about to be sipping on some murder. Bloody Happy Hour.
Hey y'all, this is April.
And this is Caroline.
This is your Bloody Happy Hour.
This is your Tuesday Quickie edition.
Quickie edition. All right.
So, have you heard about the sheriff who shot the judge?
I just saw on that you posted video of the sheriff and this poor judge cowering behind the desk, probably pleading for his life.
Yes.
What happened and why?
Okay, we don't know why yet, but this happened on September 21st, I think. It was a super fast turnaround because they just had the preliminary hearing.
Is this one of the cops on the Karen Reed case?
Shockingly, no.
Okay.
So this was in Kentucky, and this guy, it's Lechner County. Shan Mickey Steen, 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 sheriff. So the sheriff is accused of shooting the judge, Kevin Mullins, shot him multiple times and killed him. And they have been friends for like 20 years. So people thought there was something like weird maybe going on with the judge, but they weren't sure. And then they had just gone so the day that it happened, they went to lunch together with like a group of people. Okay. Everything seemed fine. The judge goes into his chambers. The sheriff comes in there. He had previously on his own phone, called his wife and called his daughter. Neither of them answered.
Sheriff did.
Okay. Sheriff then goes into judge's office or chambers, and this part's a little unclear, but he's just got his phone somehow. I don't know if the sheriff gave or if the judge just was the sheriff was like, "Hey, let me see your phone." Judge was like, "Yeah, what's up here?" Then used the judge's phone to call his daughter.
Okay.
And the daughter answers. So doesn't answer when her own dad calls, but answers when the judge calls. Okay. And also, why is the daughter's phone number in the judge's phone? We do not know how old the daughter is, but when the daughter went in for questioning, she had to be with her mom had to go with her. So that's why we're assuming she was a minor.
Yeah.
But so when the daughter answered the call from the judge's phone, right? That's when the sheriff pulls out the gun and shoots the judge. 1, 2, 3, and then is the judge is cowering down behind the table, behind the chair, like they showed in the video, because it's all on video. And then as the sheriff is getting ready to leave, he has his hand on the doorknob, starts to open the door, but then looks back behind the chair and shoots the judge 2 more times.
So was he messing with the little daughter?
We don't know. What I have heard, rumors, because I read some comments in the YouTube.
So there's a hearing. What is he? Do you plead at this hearing?
Yes. So they did the lead detective got up there and testified, and he said that the judge had made a statement to the sheriff during lunch asking if they needed to meet privately in his chambers about whatever. He didn't specify about what it was about. That's as much detailed background as they gave. It was September 19th. So from September 19th, and then the preliminary hearing on October 1st is really fast because a lot of these cases, it takes months and months. So yeah. I don't know. Then whenever the sheriff was cross-examined, they said that the reason for the shooting was because the daughter answered when the judge called. which really was the sheriff. That was the reason. So then we don't know. He's pleading not guilty. He's being charged with first-degree murder. But the rumors are that the sheriff was abusive towards his wife and maybe the daughter, and that the judge was helping the wife get paperwork together.
Get away.
Yes, to get paperwork together to be divorced or whatever, and to get away. And that's why the judge had the daughter and I guess the daughter's number in the phone, and then the sheriff had like freaked out because his wife and daughter weren't answering. But there's not much about the wife; it's all about the daughter. So then it may lead you to believe that the judge was having a relationship with the daughter, but that's not said anywhere.
Yeah, well, and then there wouldn't be a reason there wouldn't be a reason for the wife not to answer the phone if he found out something about the daughter and not the wife. So it makes more sense that he was probably more abusive, which a lot of husband cops are abusive at home, and they just are able to get away with it because they know what to do. They know how to hit them. They know how to threaten them. And so that does sound more likely. My mind just always goes to the worst place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the only reason I found that out is because I just was reading comments of a YouTube video, and they're like, I live right next to this town, and this is what the rumor mill, this is what's been being said. And a lot of people were like, yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I heard. People who live close by.
Yeah.
So. Wow. Yeah. Isn't that wild?
But to plead not guilty and there's video on you, like,
that's what I don't understand.
What's your reasoning? What are you about to say?
Yeah. So that now they did this hearing, so I guess they'll take it to a grand jury, and then they'll go from there, or whatever.
But the wife is fine.
Yeah, they went in for questioning, and they're
okay.
But the dude's being held, and obviously he cannot be released. Do you remember Jared Bridegan?
Yeah.
And Shanna Gardner was his ex-wife. And they're like Utah couple.
And he was. Yep, I don't remember.
Yep,
driving. She had a Mexican boyfriend or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Shanna Gardner and Mario Fernandez, which is her estranged husband, but I think they're still married, but they are now both in jail together. Mm-hmm. Well, they're both in jail waiting for trial because they were back in court for a pretrial hearing, and in the hearing, the judge finally set a trial date for October 2025. A whole year?
But this has already been going on for a while.
I know. So it happened in February 2022 whenever Jared was murdered in front of his 2-year-old daughter. 2-year-old daughter was in the car while he was driving. And so Gardner, which is the ex-wife, Fernandez, which was the husband, are accused of plotting to kill Jared in 2022, but they hired a hitman. So the hitman is the one who left. So Jared is like going over, drops the kids off, or picks up a kid from Shanna, the ex, as he's driving back home because he's currently married to somebody else. Mm-hmm. He's driving home. There's like a tire in the middle of the road.
That's right.
He gets out of the car to move the tire, and as he does that, he gets shot and dies right in the middle of the road. And then they eventually tie. They tied the Fernandez guy. They tied his cell phone to a rental property that he owned, and that's where this other guy lived, the one who did the shooting. And then they tied it back to everybody. So the two of them, Fernandez and Shanna Gardner, are both set to go to trial.
Don't pick up trash off the side of the road. Do not get out of your car and pick up stuff off the side of the road.
Just drive around the tire. But I guess if it's like did
it block it?
I think it's just like a 2-lane, like a one-way.
Had to, yeah.
And so he probably was like, well, if there's no cars coming, he's like, oh, let me just move this tire real fast because.
And if it's going to get dark, somebody might not see it.
What? Isn't that the worst? Yeah. And her attorney, Jose Baez.
Oh, yeah.
Casey Anthony's attorney.
Yeah. She better be giving some blowjobs like Casey.
Oh, I'm sure she is. Let's go to South Carolina, where this girl, Jessica Barnes, she disappeared on August 1st. And it wasn't until October 1st that her remains had been found in like a nearby field. They finally identified the remains, and they were the remains of Jessica Barnes. So she had a husband, Jared. Everybody's named Jared. It's Brandon. Her husband's Brandon, not Jared. Her husband and her lived together with 2 roommates. Okay. So once the remains were found, the police then start questioning Brandon, the husband.
Yeah.
And
the roommate.
he admits to killing her.
Oh, that's easy.
He says that he strangled her to death on August 2nd. So she went missing on the 1st. I guess that's when she was found missing. He actually had killed her on the 2nd, then dumped her body along with the help of the roommates. How nice.
Team effort.
Yes. And so the roommates are, let's see, Kendall Mims and Victoria Tippett. So 2 females.
Oh, gosh.
So the two roommates are both charged with accessory after the fact, obstruction of justice, and misprision of a felony due to assisting Brandon in disposing of Jessica's body. They also both confessed. Everybody just confessing. One of the roommates is further accused of neglecting to report a crime despite allegedly witnessing the killing and having multiple opportunities to notify police. And the other one neglected to report the crime despite being told about the killing and having had multiple opportunities to notify police.
Well, why did they do it?
I don't know. That's it. There's like, she was reported missing by the mom.
Were they druggies?
The mom had been getting all these text messages from the daughter's phone. Didn't sound like it was coming from the daughter. And then police finally, like, once they found the body, then I guess they started questioning everybody, like the husband and the roommates, and then they just were like, "Oh, I did it." I mean,
it's weird that you have roommates in the house anyway.
I know, but these also they were really young. Like, she was 20, and he wasn't that far. So Jessica was 20 years old. So I'm not sure. He was pretty close in age. So they were pretty young, but still.
It's probably polyamory gone wrong.
Oh yeah, they probably did have a polycule situation happening.
Well, that's sad. You know what always gets me is like, okay, when one person, like the husband wants to kill the wife, we hear that all the time. But how did you recruit 2? So you had 3 people that agreed that were all in the wrong mindset to agree to kill and dispose of this person, and then you just kept it secret.
But remember that one story I did where the dude like went and tried to get his friend to take the boat out and take all the, and I'm like, and he told like a million friends, and they didn't even get in trouble because they probably, I don't know why, but this is, I don't know.
Because they needed them to testify.
That's true. But yeah, this guy, that's all. That's, but it gets worse. I mean, that's that story.
Okay.
The next story, we're going to Arkansas. Ain't not much happening. We mentioned this last week or the week before about the couple who tried to sell their baby for beer.
Yes.
Okay, that's where we're going.
Okay.
So they're accused of trying to sell their 2-month-old baby for $1,000 in a 6-pack of beer. So
6-pack.
A 6-pack. The couple approached a man named This is, I'm gonna tell you, it's
probably shitty light beer
Arkansas.
too.
This is straight Arkansas. So the couple approached a man named Ricky Oh, hell. I was doing the blinky thing. Okay. They approached a man named Ricky Crawford at a campground in Rogers, Arkansas, and offered to give him their baby in exchange for beer and cash. Crawford, who was reportedly intoxicated at the time, agreed to take the baby for the night in exchange for several cans of beer.
Oh, shoot.
The couple then handed over the baby along with a diaper bag to Crawford, who then brought the infant to another man, Cody Martin, who was a nearby camper. I guess they're at a campground.
Wait, there's too many stories at campgrounds.
The couple then allegedly signed a letter granting custody of their child to this Cody Martin guy with a disclaimer saying that they would not change their minds and would not contact them again.
Who just has that written down, like
They
laying
just
around?
wrote it on a piece of paper and gave him a paper. I don't know. This is the weirdest story ever. Several witnesses, including a woman who lived at the campground, claimed that the baby smelled of ammonia and fecal matter, had a heavy rash, blisters, and swelling on his buttocks and genitals, and had dog hair inside the diaper. So the couple was arrested on September 21st. They're facing felony charges of endangering the welfare of a minor and attempting to negotiate the relinquishment of a minor for adoption. The baby daddy was released on $50,000 bond while baby mama remains in custody. And
So the couple that made him sign the paper just made him sign the paper and took him to the police, to call the police. So they did it for the baby, not because they're like traffickers or molesters.
yeah,
They did it to save the baby, I guess.
who did what? Who did it say the baby?
The couple that bought the baby did it to save the baby.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I would guess.
Because the police,
Yeah,
somebody told the police, it had to have been them, and relinquished the baby to the police.
yeah, because they're like, well, I don't want this baby.
I just don't want this baby in their possession.
And I gotta go at it because my computer's dying. Okay, so they were. Yeah. The sheriff's office reviewed security footage, they interviewed witnesses. They got the letter, and then apparently the couple had been struggling to care for their 3 dogs and baby.
So they chose the dogs and got rid of the baby.
The baby mama said it was not working having 3 dogs and a baby. The baby is currently in the care of Arkansas Department of Human Services. The worst
That
place
sounds
you could
like
be.
an Arkansas story.
Yeah. And then we have one final one, Arizona.
Okay.
So on September 27th, 2024, in Glendale, Arizona, 49-year-old Teresa de Jesus Cruz Rubio was found decapitated in her home.
Why do I know that?
Is that your cousin?
De Jesus. No, it was the Ariel Castro.
Oh,
episode.
That's right. Just hours before the family had planned, they had a 50th surprise birthday party planned for her.
Wait, she was found decapitated where?
At her house.
Wow.
Okay. So the investigation revealed that her son,
Oh, shit.
Alejandro Gonzalez, 24, was arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Police alleged that Gonzalez had stabbed his mother multiple times with a kitchen knife and then decapitated her.
Because she wouldn't cook for him?
The incident, I think maybe. He probably wanted to be breastfed and she wouldn't do it. The incident unfolded when Rubio failed to show up for her surprise party. So she didn't show up for a surprise party. So her damn family goes over to look for her and they find her decapitated.
No.
They discovered her body with a decapitated head nearby, blood throughout the whole house. Gonzalez reportedly used his mother's car around 5 p.m. on the day of the murder, later then used her phone to call family members. The car was found by the Phoenix police 2:40 a.m. the next day. And Gonzalez taken into custody. And during custody, Gonzalez allegedly admitted to stabbing his mother numerous times with a kitchen knife, followed by decapitating her. Police believe that he may have been under the influence of drugs at the time. You think?
People don't do drugs.
He is in jail with cash only bond of $1 million. The Glendale Police Department is providing medical.
Oh my goodness.
They are waiting for an autopsy just to know the exact circumstances around her death. And
Imagine like
instead of a birthday party, they're throwing a
it's
funeral.
a funeral. Imagine when.
But there's no we don't know why or anything because it just happened, I guess. But
Well, because drugs sometimes make you go crazy, especially if you already have
that's true.
chemical
He's probably on that
imbalance.
K2 or that spice or.
Imagine like when you come down and you actually like wake up and realize what you did, and they're telling you what you did.
And
imagine that feeling. Like especially if you're just like maybe you love your mom. You got a great relationship with your mom. I don't know. That is scary.
I really hope that if I was just in this drug-induced psychosis, that I wouldn't just like go on a murdering rampage. What would I'd probably go. I'd be probably just like, I'm going Dairy Queen. Give me a Blizzard.
You go through.
You don't turn it upside down. Then I might stab you or something. I don't know, but I probably won't.
Oh my goodness, no, that's scary. Okay.
If we need to go to Popcorn Corner, I mean, the latest is just the prosecution for the Diddy and all this stuff. They're about to reveal this whole list of people, and it's just all these. It's just more and more and more and more and more.
I was gonna say that since the Menendez brothers story is out and it is like number 1 or number 2 on the Netflix right now, it has just been released that new evidence has come to light, and they may get a new court date, a new trial, which there's a lot of people who are petitioning for them to actually get released. They've been in prison for 30 plus years. They've both been married. One has been married twice since been in jail.
I mean to go to prison. Get married.
Yes. That is you're guaranteed to get married if you go to prison.
Guaranteed. I am here for a new trial.
Yeah.
I am absolutely. Where was this in California?
California. Okay. Was it Hollywood? It might have been Hollywood. But it is such a good I'm not done with it yet. I will have to do the story. And it's not like a humongous story. I just didn't know it all. I knew like the skeleton notes of it. It's a good story, and the actors are killing it. They are killing it.
I don't know, how many episodes is it?
5, maybe.
Okay.
I think I'm on 3 or 4.
I think I got to like through maybe 2 episodes.
Yeah.
But it's good.
Yeah. I'm just now like where they're talking about the abuse and kind of showing more of the abuse that they've endured, and I
can't believe about the hair. Is that really true? He has
because he's bald now. Because when he went to jail,
what was the point of, like, what was happening there? This was Lyle, the older one, the more confident one, the hot one, and the other one is not bad looking, but he's just like he just looked up to his brother. He was
the younger brother. He was a little bit more timid. He just started balding early, and his dad was like, if you want to be powerful, a businessman and a politician, you have to have great hair. So he took him to basically a specialist guy that made him this awesome toupee wig that he had to have like tape and clipped on so that nobody knew.
Yeah.
But it was probably stress from what he was enduring from his dad.
Because I was like, I mean, damn, that looked really like...
It did. I don't think I knew that part. But he's bald now in prison, obviously, because you're not going to be able to get good tape and a good wig.
No, that was a good piece.
It was. It really was. That was the only update that I had. But yes, P. Diddy, thousands of new cases have or hundreds.
No, I've heard thousands.
And then
25 states
some
involved, 9-year-olds.
Yeah, young 9-year-old boys.
Which, think about it. I mean, Bieber was 15.
Mm-hmm.
But I think his parents had to sell him. Like, they had to just been like,
gosh,
here, because who just, like, they had to been paid to let him go and do all this stuff. I mean, they were getting paid because that was their gravy train.
Or do you, it's kind of like the whole Sandusky. You thought you were trusting your son to be trained by this coach when he was really screwing them. So they thought they were trusting they thought that this producer saw something in their son, which their son is very much talented. So yeah, sure, go travel with P. Diddy.
When you're 15 for a weekend?
But I mean, how many child stars
I don't know.
and actors? Yeah, I would like daddy's gonna be
I think
agent.
it's different
Daddy's
if it's
coming.
like this like huge like rapper who is you know the kind of lifestyle that he's in.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but did people know back then? Or would this old white couple know back then? I think Tupac
I feel like
and
they
Biggie
probably just
did.
were like,
Just go.
you should go.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Here's some
You're gonna meet all these
Vaseline.
yeah.
And some baby oil.
And a lot of baby oil. Did you hear the attorney came out? He's like, well, you know, I mean, everybody has baby oil, and you know, Costco is just right down the street. And Costco came out, and they're like, we do not sell up any baby oil. So no, do not throw our name up in here.
Leave me out of it.
Yeah.
And then this bitch Helen is tearing some shit up. Hurricane Helen.
Oh,
She's about to beat
Helene.
She's about to beat Katrina.
I think she did. I think she is worse than Katrina. And you know what's weird is that a lot of it's in like, you know, South Carolina? No, like in the Carolinas, but not on the coast. It's like in Asheville, which is, I mean, I guess because it traveled up from the bottom and it went up.
Yeah.
Like it didn't come from the side.
And there's a bunch of conspiracy
From the south.
theories.
It came from the south. And it came through and went through Florida and then straight up. So it hit one of those South Carolina, North Carolina.
I'm going to Tennessee, and so somebody was like, you better make sure they're not underwater. And I was like, why would Tennessee be underwater? But
Yeah,
some
they're
of
part of it.
Tennessee is.
Yeah. But I have a person I work with who lives in Asheville. And so I just emailed and I was like, because it's a small town. She said she had to leave to go to see her friend who lives in Charleston, South Carolina, which is on the coast, which it didn't get like hit or whatever, because whatever. But she had gone there while her husband and kids stayed back and like helped just get things for the community and stuff. And they didn't have internet, they didn't have power, but their house wasn't affected. They just, but it's like the whole place is like flooded. I mean, people were stranded, dogs were stranded.
I have a classmate that lives in Florida somewhere, maybe Tampa. This is the third time she's lost her house.
I'm gonna need
you to come back to Texas.
But listen, just don't go to Houston. I don't know. It was like that. I guess it just like sat on top of them, like when it traveled, because it flooded that place is like underwater.
It's so sad.
It's so bad.
Prayers for all of them. Okay, well, there is our quickie, and we will see y'all Thursday for a full episode, and we're going to Louisiana.
Ooh, okay.
Don't forget to
stay aware,
stay alive,
and always be DTF.
Bye, y'all.
Goodbye.
This has been a Rogue Media Network